Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy Monster Cast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy Monster Cast, the Revolutionary War superhumans infiltrate New York City on a hostage rescue mission. Previously on the Happy Monster Cast. The Sons of Liberty have formed a squad of superhumans led by French and Indian Wars veteran Elijah Allen, Artemis Crow, Invisible Assassin, Adenoit, the Wampanoag Swamp Monster, Clara Washington, Super Soldier, and Victoria Spellman, the Human Cannon. The team fought at the beginning of the Revolution in the Battle of Salem, then helped the colonists win the Battle of Bunker Hill, driving the British from Boston. All right. So, you have won the Battle of Bunker Hill, and the rebellion has begun to grow. And one of the hotbeds of the rebellion, and really of espionage on both sides, is the city of New York. And you've learned that the British are holding hostages in New York because many of the Greycoats, all of the Greycoats were born in the colonies. With this rebellion rising, the British aren't entirely confident of the loyalty of all of their troops. So they've opted to take some of the families of their troops hostage in order to ensure their loyalty. And the Sons of Liberty have gotten wind of this. And so Sam Adams comes to you and to brief you about this. And he says, "We believe we might be able to convince some of the Greycoats to turn if we can liberate the hostages. But that will require smuggling you into New York City, which is currently held by the British. Fortunately, smuggling into and out of the city is commonplace. There'll be no difficulty getting you into the city. However, there is a significant troop presence there, so you'll need to keep a low profile."
No problem.
We have a contact in the city by the name of Hercules Mulligan. He has a house on Queen Street. I'll mark it on your map. And you should be able to take shelter there, and he will likely have information about where the hostages are being held.
Got it.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Does he know we're coming? And how?
Yes, we've gotten word to Mulligan of your arrival, and we've arranged a code phrase. The geese are loud this year, and he should respond.
Oh.
Likely they'll fly south soon.
Okay.
If you don't have any other questions, we'll dispatch you to the Jersey Shore, where a boat will take you across the Hudson to New York.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Very, very well.
Okay.
So they arrange for your transport, and they drop you off on the pier. They drop you off on the pier that you see there, right by the word Hudson on the map, and so you're able to make your way down Crown Street towards Mulligan's house. And this seems like a moderately rough neighborhood. There's foul air blowing in off the Hudson River. Merchant ships line rotting earth slips. Women on the street are propositioning sailors, and a drunken redcoat stumbles out of a building that might be a tavern or a brothel. But you are able to make your way without incident to this house.
Okay.
That would be good.
So you've arrived at the address you've been given. It's early evening. The door is closed, but there is clearly light passing through cracks in the shutters, getting ready for you all.
We approach cautiously, trying to be as aware as possible.
You absolutely can.
Okay.
I do feel like Artemis would be.
You want me to reconnoiter?
Well,
we could do honestly.
just check. I can make sure there aren't guests.
Sure, I can do that.
But I wait in that dark alley.
So I'm going to go invisible and then do a little reconnoitering just to make sure we're not there's any surprises.
Okay, so how are you going to do that?
Well, here in the dark alley, I will turn invisible and then make my way up to the building and start, look in windows and sort of check out the scene. Can I get any peeking, peeping Tom stuff from the ground floor?
Yeah, you can look in, and the ground floor seems to consist of mostly of a large open area where there's tailoring work laid out, and you see two young men in there, along with an older man and an older woman, and they seem to be preparing for dinner.
Okay. Do any of them fit the description that we had for Hercules Mulligan?
One of the young men does, yes. And you see a black man come in and start laying dishes on the table.
Okay. I'm going to look and see if there's any, basically anything that is suspicious or is inconsistent with what we've been led to expect.
Okay, make a notice roll. With that roll, you're not noticing anything specifically interesting or out of the ordinary. That's with a 3, no, nothing really jumping out at you.
Well, right.
Probably nothing wrong either, is what it sounds like.
Right. So I'm gonna come back and report this. And guys, I think we are straight up. I think we can just proceed. I don't think that we should all go in at once. I think we should have one person go in and deliver the code phrase and then get instructions from Mulligan as to how to enter.
So if nobody volunteers, I will.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll stay invisible until we get clearance here.
Okay. There's a knocker on the door.
So I'm going to knock on the door and wait for a response.
Okay. And the black man that you saw earlier comes to the door and opens it and sort of gives you a smile and says, "Can I help you, ma'am?"
Why, yes. We had heard that someone can help us discover why the geese are allowed this year.
And from behind him, you hear, "Oh, let her in, Cato. She's expected."
Cato. Okay.
Yes,
right.
Cato. Actual historical figure, by the way. This guy really did exist, and his name was Cato.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm going to point out that I have my friends with me, and motion for them to come.
So the other young man, who really doesn't resemble the Hercules at all, says, "Oh, well, then you must bring them in at once. I am anxious to meet them."
Okay.
Okay.
Isn't there supposed to be a counter from him?
He says, "Oh, yes. We hope they'll fly home. They'll fly south soon. I'm sorry. I'm rather new at this, but I believe I can do quite a bit of good here."
Okay.
You notice that a significant fraction of the tailoring work seems to be British uniform.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'm going to, but they seem honest.
They do, yeah.
And they had the correct response. So I'm going to motion.
I'll go
for the rest of the team. We're in the clear.
Right.
So I come in and I look around and I see all the British uniforms, and presumably, so they're all in various stages of construction in this tailor shop. I say, must interact with the British soldiers quite a lot. Must provide some interesting opportunities.
Indeed, it does, my friend. Indeed, it does. I suppose I need no introduction, but my name is Hercules Mulligan, and this is my very good friend who's rooming with us here, Alexander Hamilton.
You do, sirs.
Oh.
A great pleasure to meet you
Very
all.
pleased to meet you all.
A great pleasure to meet you. A great pleasure to meet you. Yes, these are my parents. Hercules gestures to the older person, and of course my manservant Cato.
You do.
Yep.
Okay. Nice to meet you all. Thank you.
I understand from Mr. Adams that you're here about the Grey Coat hostages.
We are.
That's correct.
We are. We're anxious to be able to assist in their liberation.
As it happens, Hercules goes on, I've been able to gather some information from some of the British officers who patronized our shop that they're being held in a house seized from Henry Rutgers. I can direct you there with no trouble. It's in one of the nicer neighborhoods. And I believe there to be British regulars on guard there, but not necessarily a large number.
I see.
How many hostages are there?
I'm not 100% sure, but from what I can glean, there seem to be between 6 and 10.
I see. How far is their location from here?
It's uptown a ways. It'd probably take about an hour to walk there.
Okay. So I'm seeing a couple of things here. I think that this is the sort of operation that would be better to do at night during the day, which is perhaps the obvious. But it's not full night yet, so we wouldn't necessarily want to get going on that right away. Another thing that I noticed, we seem to have interrupted your supper.
Ah, yes, Cato, do we have enough to share with these fine folk? I believe I can arrange something, sir.
We would be happy to contribute of our own provisions, which we brought along.
That's uncommon kind of you, sir. He kind of winks at Clara.
Oh boy. I'm feeling awkward.
What's going on here?
All right, so at dinner, you do discover that Cato is technically an enslaved person, although he seems to really be part of the family. Nevertheless, he is the property of the Mulligans. And also that Hamilton is from the Caribbean and came to New York to study, but he's definitely been caught up in this whole revolutionary fervor thing and is a staunch supporter not only of pushing back on the intolerable acts that the crown has imposed on the colonies, but he firmly believes that true independence from Britain is necessary. He strikes you as a very eloquent young man.
Excellent.
Excellent.
How will the hostages have any inkling that will be coming for them?
I'm afraid I've found no way to communicate with them directly, and the Greycoats are kept fairly sequestered, so I haven't been able to reach any of them either.
Are they trapped in a basement, or are they simply housed?
That I cannot say.
At the Riker's home.
That I cannot say. Hamilton chimes in, knowing the dastardly British, I expect that they're being kept in the cellar.
Do we have any intelligence as to what their powers or abilities might be? I mean, are they just going to be relying on us, or might they be able to assist in their own rescue?
Well, the hostages are the families of the Greycoats, not the Greycoats themselves. So it's unlikely
I see. Yes.
that if they had any powers, most likely they would have been conscripted already.
Right.
Of course.
Do we know what the kind of size of the force is we're going to be going up against potentially in this building or area?
I'm afraid there are thousands of British regulars in the city, but I doubt there will be that many that far uptown. Most likely it will be a relatively small detachment.
That's in our favor, hopefully then.
So, what exactly was your thinking as to how to recover them?
Well, I'm afraid I don't have much experience with.
Mm-hmm.
I figured all of you being heroes of the Battle of Salem and Battle of Bunker Hill would be able to take care of the direct military action part.
Hero is a strong word, but
I do think we should take a look at this building and see how it's fortified and whatnot.
Well, I have an idea, and that is that I could try to go ahead and give a little recon to get the lay of the land, and then from that we could develop a better attack strategy. And I can also, if I can get near them, I could, drop a note. And when it leaves my possession, it would go from being invisible to visible. Drop them a note to be ready to be sprung soon.
Right.
Someone should go with you. I'm quite sneaky as well, so I'll come and assist as I can.
We don't know the
Identities or ages or any of this, do we?
Other than that, they are families. No, so it's certainly possible there would be children.
Right. I guess I'm a little concerned.
Is there any way, too, that we can look for structural weaknesses in the buildings themselves?
You'd have to go look at the house and see what you can see.
Yeah,
We just can't be too suspicious, like we're
True.
It's a fairly wealthy neighborhood. Mulligan jumps in. I doubt that there's much wrong with the house.
True.
Why don't we go get a scope of it, and then we can decide whether we want to, do an assault or do a distraction or
Going guns blazing.
diversion,
Stroll
and then
through town.
couple that with some of us going in guns blazing and couple with the diversion maybe.
Okay, so you're going to head uptown and check out the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, just like magic. And
Oh,
there
I
we go.
love the effects.
Oh wow!
Oh, and it's raining.
Wow, we got fog of war going on here too. This is
And
pretty nice.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so where is our objective?
From the directions that you're fairly close at the point where you're entering the map here. From the directions that Mulligan gave you, you should head down the street and then take the next left, and it'll be the second house on the left when you do that.
Okay, so we would want to move.
So if you want to grab yourself and move yourself along down the street, go right ahead.
Like this way?
Like
Okay.
Yeah.
this street or the next one?
So you go down this street, take the first left, and then it will be the second house on the left. Although you could certainly try to sneak between the houses.
Okay, I'm invisible, so it's not. It's no big deal for me to move quietly here.
Yeah. So that's your left. That's your
I'm
left
going
turn.
to
Oh, that's left.
go down the street and first house on the
No,
left.
then it's
So-
you take your first left, and then it's the second house on the left. So you're looking at the first house on the left now. And now you're looking at the second
So
house on the
I-
left. And now you're looking at some guys.
It's dark.
Okay, so here I am.
Okay, there's a lag.
Here you are invisible. Please make a stealth roll, though, because you are sneaking about.
Okay,
I'll be moving stealthily as well.
Quick question. How do I move the map around?
Right click and drag.
Thank you.
okay.
So is Frankie on the roof of the house currently, or Elijah that we're supposed to be scoping out?
No.
Did I go the wrong way?
Okay.
Icons only. The other things are just your mouse.
Yep. Okay, so as you turn the corner here and you see the front entrance of the house down the street to your left, you see that there are 6 people in front of it. 4 of them are very clearly British regulars.
Okay.
But 2 of them are not. The 2 that are not appear to be civilians. So, which is a little surprising because they also appear to be kind of the ones who are primarily watching the door here. And the
Super.
I'm starting to think. Yeah.
the civilians are carrying clubs at their waists. But I'd also like you to make a notice roll against their stealth here. Okay, so
Is this all of us?
no, just
Sir, just
Artemis because he's the
Artemis.
only one who can see it.
Okay.
So as
Okay.
far as you can tell, they're only armed with the clubs.
Okay.
Well, that's a leading sentence.
Yeah. So do I go by the GM's tone of voice, or do I go by the roll? Okay. I just noticed the clubs. Right. So at least I have a clear sense of, or I think I do, of who's guarding this. What do I notice about the house itself?
It's definitely a very nice house. It is, it's two stories. There are a number of windows facing the street on the first and the second floor. There is, from where you can see, the only entrance is the front door, and that's the one with all these guys guarding it.
No back door, no cellar access.
Doesn't look that way from what you can see, unless it's on the opposite side of the house where you're not actually able to see right now.
Okay, well, I will. I'm going to come back around the back side of the house.
Okay.
And
give me another stealth roll, please.
Okay. So I failed on grabbing it. So like right here. Okay. Well, I actually want to be. So can I see the whole back side of the house now from where I am?
Yeah. And from where you are, the British are completely asleep. There's windows here, but no doors, and the windows are shuttered.
Okay.
But
It's good time, or
I mean,
would it be unexpected that they be shuttered if they're facing another house and it's getting to be dusk?
Probably not that surprising, especially if it's raining.
mhm.
I am. So are those windows on the first floor? They're all shuttered. What about the windows on the second floor?
Windows on the second floor, the ones in the front of the house, some of them, the shutters are open.
What about the back of the house?
Back of the house, there's only one, and it is also open.
Okay, I'm gonna climb up and go to that window, the little second story work.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll and a stealth roll, please.
Okay, here's athletics. That's not so good. And a stealth.
Okay. So this is not a readily climbable wall. And on your first attempt, you are not able to climb it. But you don't make a whole lot of noise when you fall.
I'm going to try it.
How many people are on the door?
But you hear from the front, what was that?
How many people are guarding the door right now, Scott?
6.
Oh, God.
But you don't know that because the only person who can see that right now is Artemis.
Okay, so can I hear the Brits coming around the wall?
You hear, what was that? You, Private, you two check that out.
Right. I think I'm going to scamper here because I don't want to get caught by these guys. And I think I need to go back and tell everybody what the guard situation is.
Okay, you're now in a stressful situation, so I need you to make an invisibility roll to maintain the power as these guys come around the corner.
Okay, here it comes.
Can I move to at least be on the same road as the house?
You absolutely can. Okay, you stay invisible, and as you scarper, the Brits are coming around the corner here, and they kind of loop around the back of the house, and you hear something from them, but it's not really clear what as they go back around the house.
Okay, so I'm still invisible, maintaining this, and I report to everybody, what the lay of the land is. The layout of the house, the barred windows or the shuttered windows, the people that are guarding it, the strength of them that are guarding it, the fact that it's a little bit difficult to get in stealthily. You can go back and make another try, everybody. But, you might need to come in with guns blazing.
Okay.
I don't want to endanger the hostages, right?
Ideally, not.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the reason that they're being held hostage is to ensure loyalty, which would indicate that they're willing to risk the hostages' safety. Unless we can overpower them and very quickly, I think that's a poor idea.
Well, I mean, when I left these guys, some of the British were coming around the back of the house. I could go up and try to, do a little stabby stab on one of them, or take him out quietly.
You did see that there were 2 who came around the house.
I mean, I might be able to do one. I don't think I can't do 2 at once.
I mean,
does it make sense to kind of keep watch? I mean, surely there must be some kind of rotation of the guard, and maybe there will be a more opportune time to try to attack than right now.
We'd have to keep watch to know the cycle, right?
right.
So do we want to hold tight and see what their routine seems to be as far as taking it out?
I think it would be safer.
What was that? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the goal is to get the hostages out alive, to bring back a bunch of bodies. This is certainly not going to win over graycoats who might be willing to fight for our side.
Sure.
There are only 6 of them, though, and unlike the situation with Revere, there's not a large British garrison nearby.
So if we go in and hit them hard and hit them fast, especially if we can find some way to split them up,
I can
might be able to just
put
take
them
them
up.
quick.
I can be very persuasive.
Here you go.
Let me try. How many to surround?
So what's your plan here as a group?
Tell you what, Frankie, if you can persuade them to come, like, to sort of separate, come off into small groups, just to leave the house, then I would be able to sneak in and maybe just bust them all out.
Okay. Yes. How about I lead some with kind of around the corner here? You guys can take them out when they round the corner.
Sounds good.
I can surely draw them with me.
So you guys are basically going to set up an ambush over here, like, huddle up against the side of the house, and then when they come around the corner, you'll probably have to drop on them.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's.
Okay. So why don't you position yourselves where you're going to be hiding?
Yeah.
I guess Artemis doesn't really need to be hidden up against the wall because he's invisible. But
yeah, let's have him go all the way down, like as far as I can go to where they're kind of like blindsided, kind of like where we are right now. Like maybe I can drag him all the way from the house down here, and then you guys can ambush him from the side.
Probably the best bet would be ambushing them when they come around the corner, because then you could use the house for cover.
Oh, okay. Didn't see that.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And I mean,
Were the windows shuttered on both sides so that we could kind of pull them into the alley between the houses, or is that
The
too?
windows were shuttered in the back of the house.
mhm,
You could potentially pull them in there.
right. That would certainly make things easier.
And there was, you think that you all saw there's a gap between the house behind and the house adjacent to it, where you could probably make your way to the back of the house without being seen.
Okay. Maybe what we could do is come around between the house and sort of pull up here and then conduct the ambush in this back side of the house. You want to do the ambush back here?
Okay. Yeah. Either is fine for me.
We could give that a shot.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you guys move yourselves around the house to where you're going to be setting up your ambush, and then Elijah can go see how persuasive he's going to be this evening.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the other side of the house just in case somebody's coming from the other side.
Okay. Like up by that tree.
Yeah.
So I can't see the tree. The map is dark.
I will move you to where you can see the tree.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, not on the roof, but yeah. There you go.
Yes. Okay.
Tree.
Okay. Pet Noah, where are you going to be?
We're going. Okay. They're coming around to. So where I am right now is that
No,
where we were
the
planning on being?
ambush is going to be behind the house. So if you want to be, I'll move you up behind the house, and you can decide exactly where you want to be.
Okay.
Do I have 2 Artemises? I have 2 Artemises and no Victorias. That's a problem. But
How confusing.
it is an easily fixable problem. Okay, so there's Victoria as well. Sorry about the low contrast. Okay, so Artemis, you're going to hang out down there.
Yes, just so I can kind of move either to the front of the building or to the back of the building as needed.
Okay, got it.
All right. Whenever.
I'm just going to give Molly a little bit of
Are we worried for Elijah's well-being? I mean, I guess, like, should somebody be hanging out a little bit closer to him? Just in case?
And I'll put my hand up and say, "God will protect me. Do not worry."
Oh boy.
All right. So, Elijah, yeah, you go around the corner and do your thing.
Okay. So I'm going to have my Bible open, and I'm going to approach loudly, not like too loudly, but reading one of my favorite stories out of it. It's essentially a powerful, long-winded tale of meaning and life. So I'll approach that way, and then when I come up to the group, I'm going to try my best to be as persuasive as possible to as many of these people as I can to get them to follow.
Okay.
Me.
All right. So it'll be a D12 for your persuasion.
Okay.
It would be -1 if you're going to persuade one of them. It would be -2 for 2 of them, and so on. So you got to decide how it's a push your luck thing. How many of them do you want to try to persuade?
Is it a 2 increase with every extra person? How much?
It's a 1 increase with every extra person.
Okay. All right.
So if you want to do all of them, it would be -6.
I'm going to try 3 of them. All right.
Okay. Now are you going for what combination of those three are going to be the civilians versus the British regulars?
How are they split?
There's 4 regulars and I'll put you around the corner so you can see. There's 4 regulars and 2 of the civilians. Make a notice roll as you come around the corner too.
Uh-oh.
You want to, if you click on your guy there, you'll get a bunch of menu items. Yeah, that'll work. All right. You just see the clubs on those guys too.
Okay.
All right. So make your persuasive argument and make your roll.
Okay.
If you just want to roll something, you can type it in the chat just like Roll20. So you can do a slash roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get roll 12. The space between roll and 12, and it's a D12?
Yeah, slash roll space D12.
Okay. Space D12. All right. Oh, terrible. I want to Benny that.
Well, you also get a D6, so do a slash roll D6. Maybe you'll ace it.
Slash roll. No.
Also bad. So yes,
Yeah,
you go.
So minus something?
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. Oh, so we both did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try this again. Oh, gosh. Not my friend tonight. All right, I'm going to try Benny again because I do not want to fail this.
Okay.
Last try.
Big money.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. The dice are not with you tonight.
What is going on?
Ooh.
I'll have to
Better.
take those 4. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to go broke. I'm going to use my last one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Come on.
Risky business.
Oh, man.
3.
Five.
How many times did I get a 3?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we
But
go.
it's at a -3. So they just look at you like you're a crazy person.
Dang it.
Nice.
I mean, that's traditional.
Okay.
Crazy's fun.
But they don't do anything else, so you can make another attempt.
Okay.
I mean, you're just talking to them, and they're looking at you strangely.
Yeah, if it's not panning out, I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to try harder.
Wave your hands a lot.
Yeah. Speak more vibrantly, shaking my fist.
Yep.
Persuasive.
Louder, more intense.
Don't you want to save your souls? Turn with me. Come.
It's more cowbell.
All right. I'm going to give you a +2, considering that you basically have prepared this.
Yeah.
Which means that the 5 would have worked. So,
All right.
which 3 do you want? Both? Do you want civilians? Do you want the other guys?
Take a civilian and 2 of the other guys.
Okay, so they come around the corner with you.
Okay. When we get to the very end, right before we're going to turn, I'm going to say, "Close your eyes, men. Walk forward to full faith."
All right, so they round the corner here with their eyes closed.
Okay.
Nice
Really?
job,
Guys, and I give them
dude.
the okay symbol, and then I back these guys up, and then.
Very persuasive.
Should I blast him?
What? No, quiet.
No,
Quiet.
no blast.
Knock
No
them out or
blast.
something. I do the motion of like hit them in the head.
All right, so I'm going to say that you guys have a surprise round and the drop on these guys.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Clubbing somebody.
The only person who can't jump in right away is
Probably me.
yeah, because you're too far away. Unless you run to get there, but probably you'll be fine. All right, so go ahead and let's teach these guys about the School of Hard Knocks.
Okay.
So, Pet Know-It, what are you going to do to your guy?
Well, I'm burying a hatchet in a red coat.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Okay.
All right, make a.
I don't like
You
the red
did
coat.
mention you don't like the red coats. Okay, so the simplest way to do that is, and I'll talk about another way next week, but the simplest way to do that is to go to your character sheet and click on the axe.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, just click on the little
the
icon
axe.
next to the axe. All right, yeah. So that first one, he goes down.
Okay.
Wow.
He did. All right, Elijah, you're next to.
I want to be kind of pulling them back still, like kind of come this way. So my idea is
Okay.
he's killing one, like that's kind of behind in line. So I essentially want
Okay.
to be leading the man in front.
Okay, so Victoria.
If I can, I want to have him far enough to where he doesn't hear what's going on.
So go ahead and click on your saber, Victoria.
Sweet.
All right. So,
Oh my goodness.
well, the good news is that with the +4 for your, because you have the drop on this guy, that takes this guy, the second red coat, out as well.
Yummy.
Wow.
And then Artemis, you have the drop on the civilian.
Hold on, wait. Is there?
Okay.
All right. So he's closest to me. I would hold my hands out, like if I see Artemis coming up to. I don't want him to kill him yet. And then I would.
Well, unfortunately, you don't see Artemis coming up to him because he's invisible.
Can I try to notice? Can I try to notice it?
Yeah, make a notice roll, but it's going to be tough.
Okay. At least want to try. We might be able to get some information out of this guy.
Okay, I'll let the roll go forward.
Okay, yes, that will not do.
Okay, but I see him waving his hands frantically, like trying to wave somebody off.
Yeah. So you're gonna make a notice roll, and if you get a 4 or better, I'll say that you caught on before you stabbed the guy.
Okay.
You did. Okay, so this. So you come up behind the guy, and what are you gonna do?
Okay. All right. So never mind. Get the show his turn. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm up behind him, and I was about to shove a knife on the back of his neck, but instead I'm going to use my Garrote, and I'm going to just subdue him and just take him down without killing him.
Okay. Go ahead and make the attack roll with your Garrote, or just roll a fighting.
Okay. Clicking on the Garrote, but it doesn't come. Okay, I guess that's just fighting. Okay.
Yeah. With the drop, that's more than good enough. So you can drag this guy back into the alley here.
I'll say, hold on. While I see him doing that, because this is obvious by now, I'll say, hold on, brother, hold on. And then I'm gonna fill my hand here a bit, Scott, because we're in
okay.
So I'm gonna say, hold, and I'll try to like have a sync with the guy that he's grabbing to just kind of see if he's perfectly like still with me or not. Do I have that?
Yeah, you still have him.
Okay, so I'll say, let him go. I'll say,
okay, presumably quietly.
Yes, yeah.
I was going to say,
if we can share the guys at the front of the house
No, I'm being calm as I can. I don't want to give this guy the feeling that we're trying to hurt him. So I'll talk to him and be like, brother, sit down. He says,
okay, so I do that. So while I let this guy go, I'm going to go back. I'm going to start dragging these bodies into a quieter part of the alleyway.
And I'll start asking this guy like information. Why are you here? How many people are in the building?
Says, he says, I'm guarding Thomas Howe, who's brought a gray coat to visit the prisoners.
They're being paid like a mercenary.
I am paid, but I am also
No, stay with me.
Okay.
How many people are here?
Okay, he says there are 8 in the cellar, and the gray coat, and Howe, and
okay, I'll motion with my other hand for someone else behind him to come over, and
I am, and Howe and I are part of the order.
All right.
Okay.
The order.
Victoria, or somebody club him, please.
Oh, he's effectively he's helpless at this point, so you can just knock him out.
Okay. All right.
Oh, easy enough.
And you hear from around the corner, Samuels, Watson.
Oh, hide. I would drag the body.
I am
try to hide.
Anybody good at mimicry?
Looks like I'm up again. Hide the body. Go.
Okay, and this guy comes around the corner.
Okay.
He's like,
all right, I'm gonna try to puppet him, just obviously, like straight away. I'm gonna try to control him.
Okay, so go ahead and make the skill roll since you're not really hiding it at this point.
Okay.
You can, yeah, that'll do.
There we go.
Wow.
You're saving up all those rolls for this moment.
No more Benny is needed.
Yeah, so he does not resist that.
Same thing. Eyes closed and then out.
Yep. Okay.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's puppeted?
Well, you don't know
We
that,
don't-
though.
yeah,
You just know that this guy, that Elijah seems to be extraordinarily persuasive.
So after, we'll just well,
You have control over this man?
Okay, Pet Noah just flat out asked, "Do you have control over this man?"
yes, I did. God has restored me a wondrous power as well, but I like to keep it to myself.
Why aren't we walking this man through the front door?
It's a little harder to control when I'm not around. And on top of that, can't make him do something too willfully not on his will.
Can we have him call out to his friends and bring them around the corner?
Surely, yes.
Get the drop on them too?
Yes. That which should be relatively easy.
Yeah.
Is he Watson or Samuel? Or not either?
You're guessing that the two dead guys are probably Watson and Samuels.
Yeah, I was thinking probably the soldier or Smith.
Victoria, since you're the one who took out the civilian, I would like a notice roll, please.
All right.
Okay, you heard a loud clank when this guy hit the ground. Like he's carrying, like there's a bunch of he's got concealed stuff.
Oh, interesting.
I think we have a few more problems, everybody.
Not just a
Oh,
shillelagh.
do you want to check? Yeah, do you want to check that out?
Yeah, I'm going to rummage through the pockets and loot the body.
And I'm assuming, Clara, you're coming down to where the action is.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you rummage through this guy's pockets and things, you come up with 4 knives and 2 flintlock pistols.
On the knives.
Pocket.
He was armed, ready for a fight.
And
I would like a knife, otherwise I'm content.
I would also like you to make another notice roll.
Ooh, just Bob?
Yeah, because he's the one rifling through the body here.
All right.
You notice as you're, kind of patting him down, he has a tattoo on his leg. You can kind of see it just barely through his stocking, and as you kind of peel the stocking back, it looks kind of like a bullseye.
I gesture to everyone else and point at it quietly.
All right, you hear footsteps coming around the corner.
Let's move. Let's drag the body.
And that's where we will leave it for tonight. So the last 2 guys are on their way around. You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. The Happy Monster Cast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters' logos and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Background music is Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
Oh.